Hey everyone, welcome to GeoTidbits. I'm your host GeoRabbit, and what you're looking at now is the National Weather Service radar alert of the 2011 New England tornado outbreak. This loop shows the Springfield tornado, which was on June 1, 2011. And you can see in the center of your screen there's a very strong thunderstorm with the purples and the whites in there, along with the reds and the oranges and the yellows. At the end of that thunderstorm between Springfield and Oxford, right north of that straight line in the middle of your screen, because that straight line, that's the Massachusetts-Connecticut border. Right north of that, at the end of that storm, a hook develops. You'll see the hook between Springfield and Oxford. At the end of that hook, it almost looks like the eye of a hurricane, like there's a circle, and you can almost see through it. That's the signature of the tornado. So 3 people died in that tornado. I got a story from that day. I almost died chasing that storm. And this was after the tornado, about an hour and a half after. And this thing moved out to sea in Marshfield, Massachusetts. That's about 15 miles north of where I live. So I got in position, got my camera. The rain was coming down in sheets when I caught the action at Brant Rock. And the lightning was among the most intense I'd ever seen in Massachusetts, and I kind of just sat in my car along the beach, filming through the windows, torrential rains. And I had a nice camera, and I didn't want to hurt my equipment, so I just kind of hung tight until the storm passed. And as the rain came to an end, then I was finally looking to take some photos. And the lightning display was pretty impressive as this thing moved over Cape Cod Bay. And when it moves out to sea, you start to get a good vantage point of the lightning. So I'm roaming around Brant Rock looking for a place with a clear line of sight. Not many trees around that's going to allow me to photograph the lightning. Joseph Drebeck Way, that's a little teeny street, and I found my picture-perfect spot there in Brant Rock. Only a few thousand feet behind the ocean, in front of a warehouse and a parking lot. So I kind of got a clear line of sight to the horizon. And I gathered my things in the car, put the windows up, and I turned my camera on. And just as I begin fidgeting with my camera, a bolt of lightning strikes about a mile away, sends a thunderous crack through the air. It kind of, was like, whoa, that's pretty close. I open the door to the car, and then I hesitate. And I'm thinking that little voice in my head, man, it's telling me everything that you know about weather says you're making a mistake right now. Because if you're close enough to hear thunder, you're close enough to get struck. You're certainly close enough to get struck if you can see lightning. Now, I've made plenty of bad decisions in my life. June 1, 2011, I made a decision so good that it saved my life. I put my window back down, closed the door, and I pointed the camera out of the car. I decided to stay in the car. And no sooner than I snapped my first picture, crack, I got it. I got this. That was legitimately the first picture I got after I decided to stay in the car. I am not making up that over-the-top detail. I know it's over the top, but it's true. And when the strike happened, I didn't even know what had happened. I knew it was lightning. I didn't know where it struck because I'm looking through the lens, and I looked down at my camera and I said, holy son of a manahoney. That bolt struck that fence a good 20-25 feet in front of me. There is nothing in the air between that lightning bolt and my hand holding the camera. The only thing that protected me is that I'm in that car. And there's a lot going on in that photo. You can see electricity going through the fence. These kind of like blue streaks. But I think it's crazy. I mean, not many people take a photo like that in the natural world and live to talk about it. Maybe in a laboratory, but certainly not out in the field. I'm sure some of you out there have had near-death experiences, and you certainly never forget it when it happens. And I know I'll never forget June 1, 2011. And if you're an expert on lightning, and if you want to look at this photo and tell us more about what's going on, I'd love to know. So that is the photo I got, and it's probably one of the harder photos to get and live to talk about. Surviving a natural lightning strike right in front of your face and getting the photo and living to talk about it. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to give us a like and subscribe to us. I'm going to be doing a lot of interesting videos in the future. I'm your host, GeoRabbit. Stay cool.